It's your board game dessert time, folks. It's time for Game Pie. Game Pie is when Mandy and I serve up a selection of games based on our excellent taste and our whims because we don't like ranking things, but we do love a lovely slice of pie. I mean, who doesn't? And the pie of the day is Gen Con Anticipation Game Pie. All those games on the Board Game Geek preview list for Gen Con 2024 that we think are cool looking.
Nice.
Now, Mandy, there are a lot of games, over almost 600 at the time that we were recording.
Yes.
Uh, we aren't gonna super stuff this one. We might, sneak in an extra slice. And then I think we should do a part two. What do you think, Mandy?
Absolutely. I'm here for it. We don't want people to overeat, overindulge.
Right. Indeed. That would be terrible. So, Mandy, would you like to serve up your first slice?
Yes, I'm going to dive right into it. So, my first slice of game pie, well, it's an expansion. Never thought that would roll off my tongue, but here we are. But it's for a game that I own all of the expansions for, so what's one more? And that is Space Base Genesis. So, I don't know a ton about it. I had heard there was an expansion. We're going through the list, and Space Base is one of those just card games. You're setting up types of cards are going to get you lots of points, generating kind of a system to get you to those endpoints. And I'm guessing just from what I'm looking at here, it's just more of those types of cards. Just, I don't know, potentially, I think it says here experimental drives and transforming foundries at your disposal. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like it could be fun. So, Space Genesis, looking forward to seeing what this new expansion adds to the game.
Excellent. I know they kickstarted a bunch of expansions recently, and that
Okay.
was one of them. Now you can rush the booth for Space Base. I'm going to be rushing it for the Cubitos
Oh,
expansion, so
fair. Also good.
we go together. All right, my first slice of pie is Defenders of the Dictionary. All right. This is from Adam's Apple Games, which I think is best known for Planet Unknown at this
Mm,
point, which is an excellent game. Love it.
nice.
And here we have Defenders of the Dictionary, that is described as a cooperative game that uses words, letters, and grid based play. I have no idea other than like a cover. There's no other images or anything. So I really don't know what those words mean, but I tend to really enjoy word games and a cooperative one that has powers. They talk about villains setting up obstacles. Again, no context, but it's got me intrigued. So Defenders of the Dictionary is something I'm really looking forward to checking out.
I do love a good word game, so looking forward to this one. I hadn't heard of it, so thanks for that, Suzanne. And next up on my list is, well, a game that I think Suzanne has played a lot of already. But I'm always late to the station, late to the game, late to the well.
Oh gosh.
I had to throw it in there. So if you haven't guessed already, next station, Paris. So this is the third installment of the, and I say series, I use that loosely, but there was Next Station Tokyo, Next Station London. Now they have Next Station Paris. It's kind of what I like to call a flip and right. I'm sure Suzanne has a better term for it.
No.
You do, don't you? Come on, say it.
No, I tend to call them card-based roll and writes, but that's just
See?
me.
Sounds
I
so
think a
professional.
flip and write is so fun though.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So, Next Stage in Paris is one that I'm looking forward to trying. I know Suzanne has been playing it on Board Game Arena. So,
Yes, a lot. Like I've already played this one a lot.
there you go. So, if you want to try it out, you can try it before Gen Con Next Station Paris.
Excellent, excellent choice. My next slice is Zuli. And all I know about Zuli really is it's from Oink Games. And
Ooh.
so I'm going to get it because I get everything that's Oink Games. Zuli, spelled Zuuli, is a drafting game, it looks like, that plays 1 to 6. So it plays solo. Hey, oh, that's interesting, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And it's
definitely.
got an animal theme about building up your wildlife park. Now, I'm going to get it no matter what. The one thing, Mandy, that worries me just a little bit
Yes.
is I love Oink partly because their beautiful packaging consistency. I think it's elegant. And then they came out with Tiger and Dragon that broke all that to heck and back. And oh my gosh.
Oopsie.
Now, I'm looking at the box image on BGG. I it's not a double wide and it's not a single wide. I swear, if Zuli does not match the Tiger and Dragon box size,
We got
well,
problems.
I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'll buy the game anyway. But,
Well,
I will
there it
have a
is.
moment. That's all. That's all. But Zuli, it looks like it's gonna be a lighter weight drafting game with really cute art. Of course, it's Oink. So that's a must get for me.
I didn't even see that one on the list, so look at this. You've
There's so
opened my eyes to
many.
something else. I know, I'll have to try this myself. Next slice of pie for me is The Reef Project. Again, this is another one I don't know a ton of, but it gave me the same vibes as the game Revive. I'm not saying it's the same because I actually haven't played Revive, but I was just definitely getting that vibe from it. And it has that kind of science, underwater exploration vibe to it. I think there's like an area majority set collection theme to the game. I'm here for all of that. I do think it's about a 45 to 90-minute playtime. Board and Dice are putting this one out. I mean, they put out some really nice stuff, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this plays out. So that is The Reef Project.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Mhm.
All right, my next slice is Chronologic from Super Meeple. And Chronologic is, of course, naturally spelled with a K.
Mm, yes, of
Oh,
course.
okay,
Oui,
whatever.
oui.
Chronologic is a murder mystery competitive deduction game.
Murder.
Ooh. And this is Chronologic Paris 1920, which is an important distinction. One, because the box art is beautiful. It's got this big 1920s vibe that I love on it and kind of that Art Deco look. But also, from reading the description, it sounds like this is the first in a series. So
Mm,
Paris 1920 is the first, and we will see more games in the Chronologic family in the future, which hopefully it's really fun because I love murder mystery games. I love deduction games and I love games with a cool aesthetic. And this game seems to have all of that involved. So, Chronologic, deduction, murder mystery, I'm in
I mean, right up my alley. Sounds really nice. Looking forward
for
to hearing more
sure.
about
Oh,
that one.
definitely for you. Yeah.
Next slice of pie for me is, well, a game that I played a lot of the video game, so I am more of curious to see how it plays as a board game, and that is Slay the Spire. I know this was on Kickstarter, and a lot of people were talking
Yeah.
about it. I saw the price point and went, oh my goodness, this better be
Yeah.
amazing for that price point. I have a feeling it's probably going to be a lot of the sleeving because to upgrade cards, I'm assuming you'll have to re-sleeve them and things like that as you play. I don't know. So I'm more curious to see if this plays how this plays as a board game versus the video game. So that is Slay the Spire.
Excellent. I've heard a lot of good things. I did not back it. It looked like a lot, but
Yeah.
then everybody started getting their Kickstarter fulfillment, and I'm kind of regretting not backing it now. So we'll see how
Got
that goes.
it.
Mm. All right, my next slice is things in rings. There are things and there are rings. Rings are things. You can have things in rings or rings in rings, which are things and things. Things and rings. Coming
Okay.
from All Play Games, I don't know. Things and Rings is a party game essentially in which it's playing on the idea of a Venn diagram where you have the circles that overlap, right? And so there's Mandy circle, there's a Sue circle, and then where they overlap is like board games and pie in the middle, right? The things that we share. So
Right.
things and rings, you've got these three circles, they're going to have different attributes, and then you're playing cards. So somebody knows what things are, and then you're trying to get other people to guess what they are. It looks like a blast, and they really played into the things and rings, the rhythm of the name, because the art style is very Dr. Seuss like art style. So I'm super excited to check out Things and Rings from All Play.
All right, that's definitely has a musical name to it, so I'm here for it. And my last slice of pie, well, I'm going to be very honest, I don't know a ton about it. I just saw the game box and went, ooh, this looks fun, and it's about music. So it's called Hi-Fi. And this one is being put out, there are several publishers, but Smirk and Dagger Games is on that list. And it definitely looks like a fun game in the fact that it has that musical theme to it. Like I said, totally here for it, and it has like rondel, hand management, and they talk about the tagline for this game is produce the B side of an unfinished and legendary rock album. So I think you're just trying to finish the tracks of the song, and I'm guessing, I don't know, you have to do so many tracks for the record, and those are probably the rounds, and you're doing things to get them tracks finished. Again, I don't know the whole thing about the game, but it looks super cool. I want to know more. So hi-fi.
This one, I completely did not see anything about this when
Oh,
I scanned the list, so I'm glad you brought that up. That looks very cool. I love the record
yeah.
look. All right, and my last slice of Gen Con anticipation pie, part 1, pie 1, is
Got one.
post office. That's
Okay.
it, post office. I wanna go to the post office. This is coming from Hobby World Games, and it is a polyomino tile laying game, lightweight, midweight polyomino tile laying game. And I like a lot of these games. Do I need another one? No. Maybe. I don't know. But this one has a really cool aesthetic. I like the graphic design and aesthetic on it. And it's got an element of tile overlap or
Yeah,
stacking the tiles, which I really like in a game like number 9 and things like that. So definitely between the aesthetic and the tile laying and the fact that I'm just addicted to polyomino tile laying games, Post Office caught my eye. I am really looking forward to checking that one out.
very cool. Again, another one I didn't know a ton about, but looks really good.
That's why we do these lists. And with almost 600 games on the list, that's so much. So, that's why we do this together. That's, hopefully we help folks out there.
Yep.
Speaking of folks out there, help us. Help us. We can, it's 600 games. Which ones are catching your eye? Now, you all have a chance to chime in. Not a lot of people chimed in for this episode. That's okay. That's okay. We're giving you a second chance.
Yeah.
So, if you have games that you're interested in seeing at Gen Con, you can post about it in our board game Geek Guild. That's Guild 4131. And let us know there. And maybe you'll help highlight a game that we want to check out that we missed. So, help us. And you can also email us. So you can email us at saltandsassgames@gmail.com with your Gen Con comments or with any questions you have about the episode or games that we've been talking about. You can email us there. Or, of course, all the socials.
All the socials. You might be watching us right now on YouTube, or maybe eventually for other streams on Twitch, and you can find us there at Salt and Sass Games. We are also on X or the Twitter. We're gonna go with the Twitter at Salt N Sass Games. That's Salt and Sass Games. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky at 613 Mandy. That's Mandy with an I. And how about you, Suzanne?
And you can find me on all the social media platforms. I'm at 425 Suzanne. As always, it's been a lot of fun being here, serving up a game pie. Don't forget to drop your game suggestions into our Geek Guild thread. And until next episode, make sure that you stay hydrated and play a lot of games. We'll see you next time.
That's it. Bye, everybody.